Yeah, you right. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Corey Johnson back at you. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx at the controls. Fielding your phone calls from the Buddy Deliberto Total Maintenance Studios, 766-9480. 766-9480. Mario Brothers, you're 31 years old. What do you know about Buddy D? Like, what do you remember about Buddy D? Not what you were told about Buddy D.
Absolute legend of the game. Honestly, the main thing I remember about him is the claim that he made that if the Saints ever made the Super Bowl, he'd wear a dress. And shortly after he passed away, Bobby Hebert did it in his honor.
But I mean, you're 31, so Buddy passed away like over 20 years ago.
Yeah, like 05.
So you must have been like 5, 6, 7 years old. That's like when you remember Buddy D, literally.
Yeah, I mean, my parents had him on in the car a lot.
Yep.
So
yeah.
I didn't really, grasp the whole sports thing yet.
Significance and
yeah, but I definitely knew who he was as a young child, and I definitely respect him now.
It's funny. Some folks, I guess a little older than you, some kids, 35, 40. They're like, yeah, you talking about the Domino's pizza guy? I'm like, what? And I remember like at the kind of towards the end of Buddy's career, he literally had on like the Domino's shirt and the hat and had like the like vinyl delivery case, it holds like 2 or 3 pizzas, and he was like doing a commercial when I think he was doing like, some TV show or something. And that's when they remember him as the Domino's pizza guy. I'm like, that's like less than 1% of his resume. Yeah. Like that's some advertising part. It goes into that category. It's not really part of his resume, but his whole life, notoriety, that's like less than 1%, the Domino's pizza gimmick. Anyway, you crazy kids, Mario Brothers, by the way, he can't explain this to me. He literally, his boxers, I can see like half of his boxers, the waist of his pants, in between his waist and his knees, like the front of his boxers, like a foot showing, the back of his boxers, like a foot, side, a foot, his pants, the waist. And he has to use one hand to hold up the pants all the time. I'm like, Mario, get that control going there and then edit over here. Like, it's almost like playing a piano. And Mario's like, dude, can't do it. The pants will drop. I'm like, wow. These limitations to the gig. What's up with that pants thing, Mario?
I don't know. I just couldn't find a belt today, honestly.
Yeah.
Losing weight, baby.
What is the pants thing? I'm seriously, what's that style statement? Like it's kind of gone. Like the only folks, they're like 40 plus that are doing that still, right?
Yeah, I remember that being a thing like late 90s, early 2000s.
But it's no one like 25 or 35 anymore. It's like 40 plus, like hanging on to that still, right?
The select few that still sag their pants.
The very select few that do what with their pants?
Sag. That's what
sag is what it's called.
Sagging, yeah.
Where the waist is literally in between the waist and the knees.
Pretty much, yeah.
Mario was guilty, like grabbed his pants and pulled them up in the back. I'm like, dude, I'm doing a prank on some, next I'm going to say your car's hopping.
You sound like my mom. She gets on me for that sometimes. Oh. She's like, you look like the people that sag.
Oh, wow. I don't think so.
Thank you.
That's funny, though.
Yes. In my khaki pants, by the way. So, yeah.
Oh, boy. Too funny. Wide open Wednesday. Mario doesn't wear his pants like that, but he is Latino. His car hops. It's true. And it's weird. He doesn't like Modelo. He likes Bud Light. It's weird. Modelo is like number 1, I think, in America right now, Mario.
Yeah. I mean,
they're like, thank you, Bud Light, for putting on the transgender chick for the commercials. You vaulted us to number 1.
That was a wild time, that whole story and the reaction to it.
Now, Modelo's the commercials with like the pride, and they show like they ran out of Latino people quick, Mario.
Yeah. They had the one with like
an astronaut.
Yeah.
And then it was like a female boxer.
The O lineman, I forget. Like,
and maybe it's like an O lineman, and then all of a sudden it's like Lillard in the NBA. I'm like, well, there's a black guy. What is it? And I'm like, is he Latino? And I just don't know. Maybe his mom's half Latino, you know? And then it was a total, it was like a redhead guy with freckles eating apple pie, you know? Modelo. I'm like, well, find some Latinos in America. They did like the tattoo artist. It went downhill fast. The tattoo artist, the guy who painted the cars, I think. And then it was just like the four Latino things, and that's it. 4 Latino jobs and 4 total people. They could be doing a Latino run still, but I guess they wanted to diversify the market, maybe.
I guess. I mean, a brand that big, like you said, top selling beer in the country, like you would think they'd have a little bit more creativity in their marketing.
But. No, I've talked to a buddy of mine who's like really right wing, and he thinks like the liberal marketing where you always see these bi-racial couples. I'm like, my argument is they're not trying to push that on people. They're not trying to sell. He's like, the percentage is much higher in commercials than reality. I'm like, no doubt. I would say like 25% or like a third of commercials might be like biracial, couples.
Yeah.
I was like, no, they're nailing biracial. They're 2 birds with 1 stone. Getting a white audience and a black audience, Asian audience and black audience, Asian audience and white audience, Latino audience and white, Latino and black. They're knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone with that. That's what I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you risk alienating all the racist people.
You risk alienating the racist people that don't like the mingling of the races.
That's up to you to decide if it's worth the loss of profit.
But. No, I think my buddy thinks it's strictly like political correctness and how we see the world in the future. Something like, dude, they're marketing it today. They knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. They hit the Latino and the white.
Yeah.
They hit, whatever.
That's lame. That's a reach. Like sometimes I know Disney does like some stuff that people don't approve of, and I kind of see, but that's a little bit of a reach, I think.
What he's saying?
Yeah, like the biracial couple. There's lots of biracial couples.
Exactly. And I don't think that commercial advertisers trying to sell their product and make money are into pushing a political agenda. And so many of them.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just sort of the norm where I think they're going, all right, and by the way, the couple's going to be biracial because we want to hit 2 audiences with 1 thing. And everybody, yay, and the meeting goes on.
Yeah, maybe those 2 people just had the best audition. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I think
it's deliberate.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think it's deliberate, but that's the whole point.
But to say it's political, like you said, I think it's a reach.
No, I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What's the point of that? We're trying to make money. Jeez and Pete's. If it was put David Duke and the KKK guy out there going, buy our butter, and it sold butter, they'd have David Duke and the KKK guy out there selling butter. Wow. 766-9480 is the phone number. 766-9480. What a creep he is, David Dork. What a creep. When he was a House rep. Good job, Bucktown Metairie, electing David Dork to a position of power in Louisiana. Good job. My God. That was like 30 years ago, Mario, believe it or not. David Dork, the KKK grand wizard, plastic surgery goofball, literally gambling addict, got elected to the House of Representatives. He tries to come into Fred's in Baton Rouge in Tigerland. And my buddy is a bouncer and kind of apolitical, especially like at 21, 22, 23, whatever, however old he was, 21, 22. He's bouncing and David Dork walks up and, has 2 like interns with him and tries to just like scoot him in. And my buddy's like, hang on, I need to check ID. And he's like, hey, they're with me. And he continues to walk in. My friend's like, well, that's great. I still need to check their ID, acting like he doesn't know who David Dork is. And he proceeds to check their IDs, which are fake, and tells the girls they can't come in. They're like, underage. And David Dork's like, hey, I'm David Duke. They're with me. I work at the Senate. They're coming in with me. I work at the House rep down there. It's like, no, they can't come in. So he walks like 10 feet out, talking to them. They end up walking away. Dork comes back and walks in. My friend puts his hand on Dork's chest. It's like, I need to see some ID to David Dork. And David Dork's like, are you serious? And my friend's like, of course. Knowing it's David Dork and he's like 40, 45 or something. So my friend like looks at his ID and then does the looks at David Dork's face, looks at the ID, looks at David Dork's face, looks at the ID, does that 4 times, like, there's something fishy. I don't know if it's really, is this a fake ID? And then hands it to David Dork and Dork proceeds to go into Fred's. But He didn't let in his underage little girls, and he checked his ID. So good for him. The hell with David Dork. Screw David Dork. I don't wish any ill health or anything like that to anyone, including David Dork. But everything else, he's just not a good person. An evil man. No one you want your son to grow up to be anything like. And my God, could you imagine your daughter falling for some loser like that? You're like, boy, we raised her wrong. Hey, the Swamp Room doing you right on Vets in between Transcontinental and I-10, in between Zapardo's and that Honda dealership. Home of the Swamp Burger, one of the best hamburgers in Metro New Orleans, and that's a consensus. Like, everyone knows that. Port of Call, Snug Harbor, Swamp Room, like one of the best burgers in Metro New Orleans. They're open for lunch every day, 7 days a week at 11 a.m. Lots of flat screens, full menu. And on weeknights, open till 3 a.m. Weekends open till 5 a.m. Home of the Swamp Burger, the Swamp Room on Vets in Metri, brah. Coming right back.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe. Some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab. Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
For over 30 years, CertaPro painters have been part of countless memories. Freshly painted nurseries, bright, welcoming kitchens, families enjoying the important things in life. Every wall tells a story, and CertaPro is happy to be a part of it. New Orleans' local professional painters, doing the job right. From the first brushstroke to the finished job. CertaPro Painters. NewOrleans.CertaPro.com.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers, uses only the highest quality materials and products.
'Cause I'm the Fence Man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
The Swamp Room in Metairie, home of the Swamp Burger, one of the best hamburgers in Metro New Orleans. A full menu, including steak specials, over 100 beers by the bottle, over 25 beers on tap, lots of flat screens, pool tables, darts, and video poker, lunch, dinner, late night dining. Open past midnight, 7 days a week. The Swamp Room in Metairie on Vets, between Transcontinental and I-10. Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971 on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Terminex, serving the South Shore, North Shore, and River parishes since 1947. Rats, roaches, ants, and termites. Getting rid of those guys is our business. Call for a free termite inspection. Terminex, official pest control of the New Orleans Saints.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson, where the grass hasn't been cut in weeks or months. There's a lot of trash and garbage on the neutral ground, maybe even a person or two taking a nap. And oh, someone didn't pick up the dog
Yeah, you right. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. You're the show producer. Joe Responti's going to join us in about 30 seconds. 766-9480 is how you dial us up if you'd like to join us on the program. Yeah, Joe Responti, New Orleans attorney. This is where we kind of get the straight understanding. I don't know exactly what's going on, but Assistant U.S. Attorney Jordan Ginsburg removed from the case, and it's the Cantrell case, placed on administrative leave, some kind of misconduct in office. I have no idea how it affects anything. I'm assuming it doesn't affect anything with this case, but I could be wrong. Maybe it has something to do with this case, and that's exactly why he's suspended. I have no idea. All I can do is assume, and then I'm going to get an opinion, and hopefully he might have some information or facts, but definitely a more experienced, more valid, more valuable opinion than mine. I'm telling you, I'm assuming. New Orleans attorney Joe Responti. He's on Fox 8 every Tuesday morning. He joins us live on the program again. How are you, Joe?
Great, Corey. How you doing?
Good, man. I hope we don't need sandbags and all that crap, you know?
Yeah, my grandson was at Camp Abbey, which I think is on the Little Boogafalia, and he was there supposedly Saturday to Saturday, but they pulled the plug on him today. Yeah, I guess they don't, they're afraid to have any repeats of any bad things happening. So I guess they judiciously said, Mama, come pick up your kid.
Yeah, the North Shore's got a lot of rivers that are high to begin with. And then you throw in 10 or 20 inches of rain. Hopefully this thing just goes way north of us, Joe, and we dodge the bullet because we don't need any of this crap.
No, man. My river, Wolf River in Mississippi that I got my little house on, up on pilings, it flooded back in May, and I think it's going to flood again. So, once it floods, everything's messed up. It's just, all it's going to do is just keep doing it again.
Your house is up on pilings and it still floods?
No. It didn't get in the house. It's got a little storage room underneath.
Gotcha. Yeah, the area that's designed to basically take water.
This next flood's just going to let the moccasins that are hiding out in there take a nice little bath, so they'll be fine.
Wow. Hey, Joe, what's going on Poydras Street? Assistant U.S. Attorney Jordan Ginsburg. First week, there's a few reports placed on administrative leave. I heard one that he resigned. One, he's just off the Cantrell case. What's going on with Jordan Ginsburg? The U.S. attorney said misconduct. Can you fill us in? And does it affect the Cantrell case in any way? Does it have anything to do with the Cantrell case in any way?
Well, I was in a mediation all day, and as I'm doing that, my phone is exploding, and I'm not even having a chance to look at it, so I'm a little late to the game. But somebody got me, somebody at Channel 8, because they came and asked me a couple questions, gave me the press release, I think, from David Corcell, which did use that terminology. I do not know, nor if I did, would I speculate on what this type of alleged misconduct is. I can only say this. I've had many cases with Jordan Ginsburg. This guy is a very good lawyer, exemplary guy, hard charger. I liken him to the tide. He just keeps on coming in. So, hopefully whatever it is doesn't affect a very good legal career. And as you know, I don't know. You asked me about the LaToya case. I'm assuming he's off of it. I think it said, and
he's off of it.
Yeah, and depending on if whatever this is, and I'm not going to guess or perceive or listen to rumors. If it doesn't have something directly to do with the case, and by that I mean, withholding evidence or having something to do with witnesses or things that have to do with lawyering in that case, unless it's that, then it should not have any impact on the case, nor should it delay the case, because if they got to bring somebody else in, I mean, that case is when? Set for what, October?
October. Yep.
Okay, that's what? 4 months away?
Yep.
Shame on you if you can't get ready with a co-counsel for a case. I mean, this case, it's a little complex, but it ain't, the end of the world kind of complex. And I think that there's a lot of people over there that have tried a lot of cases. Somebody can sit in that chair and get the job done.
Yeah, of course. And I think, it's Jordan Ginsburg and 2, 3, 4, 5 other attorneys that are closely connected with this case. They just move it on down the line and keep rolling. Same philosophy, same attitude, everything. I'm in agreement with you. I'm assuming, like you, that it has nothing to do with that. The U.S. attorney did say misconduct. Let's just hope that's some personal issue or something that has nothing to do with the case. Basically, being selfish. I'm not really concerned about Jordan Ginsburg at this moment. I'll bring him back up in a second. I don't wish any ill will on anyone, but I don't want to see a Fred Hebe, getting away with it. The Jim Letton, Jan Man, Sal Perricone situation go down. I don't want to see Junket Cantrell get away with it because someone screwed up at the U.S. Attorney's Office.
Well, that one, if you recall, were them doing anonymous comments on social media about the case.
Yep.
Which could, I think, be construed as they're trying to affect the veneer, the jury pool.
Yeah, that's what it was sold at, and the U.S. Attorney's Office just threw in the white flag on that one.
Or not, you can at least say, now that's what I'm saying. Unless there's something that has direct connection, which I think that argument can be made that's how it was determined for that case. If it does, I don't think it's going to be an impact on this. I think there's things, Wendy Vitter, very good judge. In fact, next time I see her, she's got all of the big ugly cases this year. She had the stage auto accident case in March. She's doing that Chris Claus fake paintings with Fouad Zeton right now. She's going to have the Alfortis murder case having to do with those fake car wrecks, and then she's got LaToya in October. So she's been earning her keep this in 2026. But I think whatever it is, she's going to tidy up any loose ends and do whatever she has to do to make this case go forward, like any other case.
Now, we don't know what happened with this Jordan Ginsburg thing, and obviously if it's something to do with the Cantrell case, all bets are off. But if it doesn't, the trial right now, Joe, is set for October. Like you said, 4 months away. Do you anticipate the trial going down in October, or do you anticipate Junket Cantrell pleading guilty before then?
We've always said, look, 95% of the cases over there plead out. But what you're asking me to do is not I'm going to say this. I think it's a defensible case. I'm not saying if I went to the Bellagio, I'd put my chip down on LaToya. I'd still bet on the government.
Right.
Because that's the smart bet, because it's always a smart bet. But it's a defensible case, number one. And number two, it's Madam Hardhead. And arrogance and ignorance gets you somebody that says, hell no, I'm not pleading, I'm going to trial.
Yep.
So, I would, if I had to guess, I would say that she, at this moment in time, is not agreeing to a deal. Although, when we did the calculations, or when somebody smarter than me did the calculations, if she pleads the way the calculations would go, she could be probated. If she goes to trial and loses, I think she's got to do jail time.
Yeah, and that would make me kind of nauseated as well if Junket Cantrell pleads guilty and just gets probation and fine and that kind of stuff and 0 jail time. That just yells like white collar crime pays. Go get elected in office and do your thing, and you're going to get probation, maybe. And
that's a big maybe. It's up to Wendy Vitter,
the
judge.
Yep.
And I'm just saying, and listen, me and the guy I was talking to, calculations this far away as to sentencing guidelines, those are rough estimates. And please, whoever's listening to this, don't take what I'm saying to the bank as to what she is or is not going to get as a sentence, because I don't know, nor does anybody else.
Yep. But what we do know is U.S. Attorney Jordan Ginsburg is no longer on the case. He was the main attorney that set up the case. So the Eastern District of Louisiana's number one guy on this case is no longer on that case. And the U.S. attorney says he's off of it, placed on administrative leave because of misconduct. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. But like I said, there's a lot of good lawyers who are very good in the courtroom. I've been up against a lot of them. The guy who's sitting in the main office over there, David Corcell, is very good in the courtroom. Although every time I see him or anybody else, I tell anybody else heading an office, I say, don't try your own cases. But there's a lot of people can sit in that chair and get that job done. So that's what I think is going to happen.
Every Tuesday morning, Fox 8, right, Joe?
Yes, sir. And I'm sorry if my stomach's growling, but I'm still waiting to go to lunch, Corey. You got to call me.
All right, man. Sounds good. I'm game.
All right, boy.
Thanks.
I'll be in touch.
All right, man. That's Joe Responti, New Orleans attorney. Wednesday afternoon, I should say, a wide open Wednesday. Monday. That'd be depressing, Mario. We're halfway through the week.
I kept doing that yesterday, so don't feel bad.
Oh, boy. Wide open Wednesday, 766-9480. Need to paint your house inside or out, one room, the entire house, or business? NewOrleans.CertaPro.com. Need to liven up that dining room, that living room? NewOrleans.CertaPro.com. All they do is paint. Professional painters doing you right. Inside, outside of your home, inside, outside of your business. When it's time to paint in Metro New Orleans, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore, River parishes, NewOrleans.CertaPro.com. NewOrleans.CertaPro.com. Wide open Wednesday means you're the show producer. 766-9480. 766-9480. Holla.
The Steak Knife restaurant in Lakeview has been at it for over 50 years. The reason? Because the Roth family does it right, serving only USDA prime beef, a neighborhood restaurant. But you don't have to live in the Lakeview neighborhood to enjoy the Steak Knife. Open Tuesday through Saturday night, the Steak Knife on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park. For a reservation, call 488-8981 or online, steakkniferestaurant.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
CertaPro Painters, New Orleans local painters. From the first brush stroke to the finished job. Your home, beautifully painted and worry-free. CertaPro Painters, NewOrleans.CertaPro.com.
The Swamp Room in Metairie, home of the legendary Swamp Burger, one of the best hamburgers in Metro New Orleans. Open after midnight, 7 days a week. A full menu, including steak specials. The Swamp Room in Metairie.
At Lamarck Lincoln, ownership isn't complicated. It's effortless. With a one-on-one brand specialist every step of the way, we strive to ensure every guest experience is nothing less than elevated. You'll understand why it's more than ownership. It's membership. Visit Lamarck Lincoln at Williams and I-10 in Kenner. Give us a call at 504-238-4800. That's 504-238-4800. Or visit us online at lamarcklincoln.com.
The Fence Man, a locally owned fencing company serving the Metro New Orleans area for over 20 years.
I'm the fence man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Yeah, I'm the fence man.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
As New Orleans as Mardi Gras. Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
We're all just blocking the street. Come on, I gotta deliver this pizza. Ah, screw it. We won't stop blocking the street. Never stop blocking the street.
Oh, Mario, what a day today, dude. The old catch-22 day for me. You know, there's a neighbor down the street, and this sweet dog, Bree, like a little small, little female, I guess like terrier, like a pit terrier type of dog, little female, real sweet. So I've known Bree like 6, 7, 8 years. The neighbors, I don't know, maybe dysfunctional, whatever. I don't know what the deal is. The dog escapes all the time. So I'm like, I got the neighbor. He was an old guy. So his like son took over and is more dysfunctional. But the old guy was getting old, and I actually bought the little, like, you know, the gate you use to separate, like to put in between a door frame and a house to keep dogs out of another room, a little gate. Get it at Petco or Jefferson Feed or something. I bought him one of those for his front porch, so his dog, Bree, would not escape off the front porch. So he ends up passing away, his son, whatever, friends in the house, just a little dysfunctional, whatever. So Bree would escape all the time, and I'd catch Bree and pet Bree and play with Bree and put her in the backyard and block the gate so the dog couldn't get out again, you know, whatever. If it was through the front, I'd put her on the front porch and shut the gate I bought and, you know, secure her, so whatever. So today I pull up to the house, and there's the neighbor with Bree on a leash, and like, what's up? And he's just like, just give me this look like you're going to have to put Bree up for adoption. I was like, what? And I just, between us, I don't think there's really any legitimate reason. Okay. That's just my opinion. So anyway, I'm like, this sucks because I don't know what's going to happen to Bree. He's like, you want Bree? And I was like, do I want Bree? I was like, I guess. And literally hands me the leash, and I walked away, and I have Bree now. So Bree's at my house right now. So I don't know if I'm going to keep Bree or adopt Bree out, but just the few I've got, you know, went and got some flea and tick shampoo and bathed the dog for the first time. Totally, Australian Shepherd does not require bathing. They're dry. They don't smell at all. And he's on, you know, the medicine for ticks and fleas and heartworms and all that every month. So no fleas. So I shampooed the dog. First time I've shampooed a dog in years. And then, you know, got food and a new collar.
Nice.
And Bree seems pretty happy. You know, Bree's, I was on the sofa doing some stuff on the coffee table, like getting some stuff ready for work, and Bree jumped up on the sofa, sat next to me. Anyway, Mario, I was like, I don't know if I want another dog right now.
Yeah.
You know, but Bree is really sweet. And then the longer I think I have Bree, like trying to get her adopted out, the harder it'll be for me to green light her getting adopted out.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you like her and she's drawn to you.
Yeah, no, but it sucks. Because, I mean, if you ask me, like the brain part of me, Corey, you don't need a dog right now.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know, but I do like Bree, and she's sweet. And
yeah.
Oh, boy. We'll see what happens.
Coming off raising all that money for the Humane Society. I mean, it might be good timing, tugging at your heartstrings, you know?
Yeah, I love dogs. There's no doubt about it, you know? But anyway,
dogs are great, man. I told you when I move into a bigger place, which I plan on doing sometime this year, I might get a dog. I'm definitely considering it. You're right; it's a lot of responsibility, and financially, it could be tough. But like the companionship is great.
now I'm a 50-50 dog cat person. I love dogs as much as any dog person.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not like a lot of dog people are like, no, I don't like cats at all. Like 0 cats or 10, 20% cats, tolerate cats. Cats are okay. Dogs are number one. Cats are distant second. Like by a goldfish or something. I'm like, I don't know. I like cats a lot. Cats are independent, do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Don't require as much attention as dogs.
A lot more low maintenance for
Very
sure.
low maintenance. Dogs are high maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Either one that you get, a cat or a dog, you know what else is involved in it, which I'm probably a little wary of? It's called responsibility. Like, I'm taking on this animal. I didn't buy a TV. Just don't leave it in the backyard, feed it every day. Sometimes I didn't feed it on Tuesday. You know, it doesn't work. This dog happens to be spayed. Well, let's see. It's a female spayed, I think. Yeah. You know, if you have a dog, it needs to be spayed or neutered. I see men, especially with some big dog and you know what, like the trailer hitch things hanging down. It's like, really? Really? Well, why is that? You're not breeding it because it's just a dog. You don't need to breed it. There's a gazillion breeds. Got too many dogs at the pound. Your dog's nothing special. Don't need to breed it. We all love our dogs to the hilt. Don't need to breed it. You're not a breeder. Second, you're just increasing illnesses, shorter lifespan, cancer late in life. You want those clipped like early, like 6 months in. When the dog's a puppy, changes the dog's demeanor, personality. You don't know what you're talking about. All you're doing is endangering your dog's life for selfish reasons. And so having a dog is a responsibility. Spay and neuter, vaccinations, at least minimum once a year to the vet, and really like twice a year minimum. And then every month, if you have a dog, this isn't an opinion. It's not a suggestion. It's like water and food, vaccinations. It's in the same category. In Louisiana, in New Orleans especially, no exceptions. Every month, heartworm medicine, every single month. If you have a dog and you're like, wow, I've had Bozo for 5 years. What's Corey talking about? Heartworm medicine. Then you've missed 5 years. Your dog might be heartworm positive. And if it is, that's a pain in the rear end. Expensive, painful for the animal, not good. Worms in the heart of the dog because you didn't give it the monthly heartworm medicine that you are required to do if you are a responsible pet owner, like spaying and neutering, going to the vet, not leaving your dog chained up all day, not leaving it outside in the backyard all day. It's not an alarm. It's not security. Something wrong with you people. Why don't you go litter? Why don't you go litter too? Wow. Wide Open Wednesday edition of the program. You're the show producer. Whatever you'd like to discuss. 766-9480. 766-9480. Bill Cassidy rips President Trump. It's the only way you get any kind of criticism of the president. Person has to be leaving office. No, ripping over the Iran deal. I'd say the supposed Iran deal. Bill Cassidy says Reagan is rolling over in his grave, referring obviously to President Ronald Reagan. Iran's nuclear ambitions were never curbed, and they have learned that threatening the Strait of Hormuz works and will undoubtedly leverage it in the future. Now Iran gets to build brand new infrastructure under this deal. Before the war, the strait was open, Iran was being crushed by sanctions, and 13 service members were still alive. Now 13 Americans are dead. Families have paid billions at the pump. Sanctions will be lifted and the bombing is stopped. This is the worst foreign policy blunder in decades. I don't know how you can argue with Bill Cassidy on that. You can hate Bill Cassidy and say he sucks. You can be Trump MAGA all day long and love Donald Trump to the hilt. He's the greatest. But how is anything any different than before this? Except 13 service members are dead. Thousands, tens of thousands of Iranians are dead. We're paying absurd amount. I saw today, $349 regular, like at a discount place. $350 for regular. My car requires super. So do a lot of cars. Like half the cars on the road require super. Like half. It's like $4.50 a gallon, $4.60 a gallon. No, there's, I don't know how you argue with anything. And here's the big kicker on the whole deal. When and if, because this deal opens the Strait of Hormuz and stops bombing and war right now. It's like a ceasefire, really. And over the next 60 days, the U.S. and Iran try to work out the nuclear crap. No nuclear ambition, get rid of the nuclear enriched uranium you have in the country right now. That they're trying to work that out. That was worked out before. Under Barack Obama, if you like it or not. That was worked out before. Will Trump's deal ultimately be better? I mean, Obama's Iran deal, you had no soldiers killed, no civilians killed, no U.S. bases fired upon, no U.S. aircraft or ships damaged, zero money spent on war, and uranium enrichment never exceeded 4%. Now, when Trump backed out of that deal, calling it terrible, Iran enrichment rose to 60% from 4%. At least 13 Americans killed, thousands of Iranian civilians killed, 13 U.S. bases targeted, over 30 U.S. aircraft lost or damaged, $8 trillion spent on war. Oh, and what you remember the plane of pallets of money, I think it was 1.7 billion of Iranian money that Obama freed up. How insulting that was, how wrong that was, giving Iran money. We've been hearing the hardcore wacky right, not Republicans and conservatives, the wacky right, the squeaky wheels, complaining about this, a plane, pallets of money. It was 1.7 billion. Trump's deal is like north of a quarter of a trillion, like 250, 300 billion, like 150, 200 times more money going to Iran than the Obama deal. How many times has Donald Trump said the war is over? Is it actually over? No, Bill Cassidy, I don't know how you argue with him. You can dislike him and love Trump, but Bill Cassidy's right on this.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
The Swamp Room in Metairie, home of the Swamp Burger, one of the best hamburgers in Metro New Orleans. A full menu, including steak specials, over 100 beers by the bottle, over 25 beers on tap, lots of flat screens, pool tables, darts, and video poker, lunch, dinner, late night dining. Open past midnight 7 days a week. The Swamp Room in Metairie on Vets between Transcontinental and I-10.
Terminex, serving the South Shore, North Shore, and River parishes since 1947. Rats, roaches, ants, and termites. Getting rid of those guys is our business. Call for a free termite inspection. Terminex, official pest control of the New Orleans Saints.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
CertaPro Painters, New Orleans local painters. From the first brush stroke to the finished job. Your home, beautifully painted and worry-free. CertaPro Painters, neworleans.certapro.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Roll call.
Arabi, Chalmette, Violet, Lafitte, New Orleans East, Slidell, Mandeville, Covington, Hammond, Homa, Thibodeau. We got you covered.
Oh, to be 31, 32 like Mario Brothers and just not give a crap about what you eat. It's fantastic. I love it. I used to do that, Mario. I used to all the stuff you eat. You're no different than me when I was 31. Everything, Papa. You said you tried Churches, not Churches. Went to KFC a week or two ago. You think Popeyes is better because it's spicier, but you were just in the mood for something different.
Yeah, I just had a random craving for KFC. I don't know why. They have you can get traditional or extra crispy. Like the extra crispy, the skin on the chicken.
There's no spicy.
No, I mean they have like herbs and spices.
Yeah. 11 herbs and spices.
Yeah, it's not like the southern twang like spiciness that Popeyes has.
Popeyes has.
Yeah.
No, it's like Mario. It's like chicken on the bone, or you get like nuggets. Like, chicken on the bone. Like he looked at me like I was crazy. But they have nuggets and strips there, huh?
I hear you. And the strips,
right?
They do. The strips at Popeyes are good, but I wouldn't get strips at KFC.
And we're talking about Sonic, which I like the Sonic Blast or Blizzard, the Oreo thing. You know, it's just crap. I mean, the ice cream's probably not even high quality. Whatever, it's just sugar.
Mm-hmm.
The chicken, first off, Sonic just looks gross, but the chicken strips don't even look appetizing like in the photo. They look bad in the photo. They have to be not very good.
Yeah, no. Remember a few years ago, Sonic got in trouble because of the commercial. They had those 2 guys that were like their spokesmen.
They were great.
Yeah.
I thought they were hysterical.
And they did like a General Custard thing. Like they were selling custard and the dude dressed up like General Custard.
And they caught crap for that?
Yes, they had to like apologize and pull the commercial.
Wow.
Everything.
That's ridiculous.
That was so
that
funny.
Dork would wear a General Custard outfit. That's how he was.
That's what I think.
They should bring those 2 guys back. They were great.
They were funny.
That was almost like a damn show. When you have commercials that are that well done, that had to increase Sonic's, sales had to.
No, for sure. Some of the commercials hit, but this one was in 2017. He dressed up as General George Custard, and Sonic had to pull the ad after facing heavy backlash from Native American groups.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I remember. That was funny.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Native American groups.
Yes.
I mean, Custard got slaughtered.
Yeah, exactly.
They think they'd be like happy. That was one of our big victories.
Yeah, but still, you can't be doing that.
Wow. You can't? I don't get it. That's just crazy.
That's a taboo thing.
Different times.
Yeah.
I don't think that's like Hitler's custard.
No, but anything to do with like old timey wars, I don't know.
Old timey wars.
Yeah. I don't want to show my ignorance in history.
Right. It's that pathetic. It's that
yeah.
politically correct. Anything to do with old timey wars. That's how they probably word it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. No, anything to do with the Civil War, like, yeah.
Wow.
Can't be doing that.
Wow.
But no, Sonic is definitely like on the bottom, like of my fast food choices. I wouldn't go out of my way to go to Sonic.
Anyway. Oh, wow. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday. Last night, I went to the Steak Knife with Scott Craig from Katie's from Francesca Deli. We were right down the street from Francesca. Steak Knife on Harrison Avenue. They've been there since 1971. There's really like three kinds of people out there in Metro New Orleans. There are people that go to the Steak Knife pretty regularly, that go, I don't know, once a quarter, like me or Scott Craig. I mean, they're the super regulars. My sister lives like 3 blocks away. She's in there 3 times a week, her and her husband. They're Lakeview people that are there all the time. They're regulars. But then they're the pseudo regulars like me. This is who I'm really talking about. 3 different types. People like me that kind of go regularly. Then you'll bump into people that are like, oh my God, I love the Steak Knife. Haven't been there in years. It's like, what are you waiting for? And it could be like 3 years, 5 years, even a decade. And they're like, I love the Steak Knife. So those folks are starting to go back to the Steak Knife and re-experiencing what they've always loved. And then there's some folks in Metro New Orleans that have never been to the Steak Knife. Maybe even never heard of the Steak Knife. Since 1971, 55 years, still owned by the Roth family. Guy, Bobby, their sister, their dad started it. They've been running it, those 3, for like 40 years. Last night, Guy's in the front, as usual. Bobby's in the back, flipping steaks, as usual. No, Scott Craig and I had a really good meal. Got some onion rings, a little crab meat au gratin to start. I got those little garlic toasty things right away. I go, yeah, just give me an ice water right now. I'll probably get a drink in a second, but can you bring me some of those garlic toasty things and some of that creamy Italian dressing on the side? And Scott and I were dipping the toasty things in that creamy Italian dressing, something that's not on the menu. And Scott was like, good call. I was like, yep. And then you get those little toasty things with the crab meat au gratin, put some lemon on that. Fantastic. I got a New York strip. So did Scott Craig. We both got the prime, USDA prime New York strip. I asked Bobby how he prepares. He goes, real simple. A little sea salt. That's it. He flips it once and then finishes it with just a little butter and a little beef broth, believe it or not, with a little butter mixed in. And that's it. That's it. Ribeyes, fillets, New York strips. You could get the speckled trout with jumbo lump crab meat, the Gulf fish Robert, gumbo, all kind of goodies. Tonight for dinner, great place to go on a Wednesday night. That bar scene's picking up a little bit more. You can dine at the bar, dine in the bar area, or like Scott and I did, clear other side of the restaurant in the dining room. The Steak Knife in Lakeview tonight for dinner. Get back over there. Seriously, isn't it time to get back to the Steak Knife? They open in 2 minutes for the evening. Guy will be in the front. Bobby will be in the back like they have been for the last 40 years. Pretty cool. You gotta respect those types of places. Like, some guy commented on my restaurant list like it's old school. Like, how old are you? I was like, first off, every restaurant I mentioned's great on my list. Great, and they're consistent. But some of these places, like Brightson's, they've been around for 40 years. Susan Spicer in Bayona, they've been around for 35 years. Irene's, they've been around for 35, 40 years. Like, these places don't last forever. Some do. Maybe they'll go another 40. But Le Petit Grocery, 30 years. Clancy's, 35, 40 years. I try to go to these places because you never know when they may shut it down. They may close their doors. And these places are exceptionally good and consistently good. Like never a bad meal, never a bad item. Like, they never mess up. So no, that's why I'm a big fan of those types of places, because you never know when they're going to go bye-bye. And the trendy places, hey, if they're around in 6 months or a year, and I'm getting a lot of people saying you got to try Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, it's incredible, then I'll go check it out. But most people told me that place is horrible, Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx. You do not want to eat there. So the kitchen's dirty. They get lots of fines. The parking lot's just trash everywhere. And I think Mario drinks during the day and cooks food and he's drinking. Smoking big cigars in the kitchen, ashes falling in the soup. It's not good. Flies everywhere. Don't dine at Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx. It's on the corner of Main and Elm Street. I would avoid it. Mario Brothers just leaned back and went, damn, what'd I do to Corey? That was a bad edit last hour, Mario. You're in the doghouse. You hear, Blue Boy? 5 o'clock powwow next.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
49 years in a row. Ford F-150, #1 truck in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers, uses only the highest quality materials and products.
'Cause I'm the Fence Man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
For over 30 years, CertaPro painters have been part of countless memories. Freshly painted nurseries, bright, welcoming kitchens, families enjoying the important things in life. Every wall tells a story, and CertaPro is happy to be a part of it. New Orleans' local professional painters, doing the job right. From the first brushstroke to the finished job. CertaPro Painters. NewOrleans.CertaPro.com.
The Swamp Room in Metairie, home of the legendary Swamp Burger, one of the best hamburgers in Metro New Orleans. Open after midnight, 7 days a week. A full menu, including steak specials. The Swamp Room in Metairie.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TF-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TF-AC.com, your cool spots.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Terminix, the official pest control company of the New Orleans Saints. Locally owned for over 70 years with humble beginnings on Poydras Street, will fix your pest and termite problems. Terminix has effective solutions that will help eliminate pest problems throughout the year. Their custom treatments address seasonal pest activity to protect your home and business all year long. Terminix provides residential and commercial pest and termite control services for the South Shore, North Shore, and river parishes of Louisiana. Terminix protects that. Go Saints!
Mr. Drew Brees. That's today's program. Have a great day, everyone. See you tomorrow. What are you smiling about, Mario? We have a whole hour to go. You're not out of here yet.
I don't know. Just trying to make it through. Good vibes. Good vibes over here, man.
That's Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx.
Thinking of all the good memories with Drew Brees.
Yep.
Best Saint ever.
Yep.
I would say Cam Jordan's the second best Saint ever.
You just don't remember Ricky Jackson on number 57.
I knew that's who you would bring
He was an
up.
animal.
I mean, yes, he was.
They're just different categories, trust me.
I mean, they played
Trust me,
similar
I love
positions.
Cam Jordan.
I mean,
No, they did. Similar positions. I mean, Ricky was an outside linebacker that rushed the quarterback. Cam Jordan's a DN that rushed the quarterback. But Cam Jordan could play interior D-line too.
yeah.
Cam Jordan's more versatile, like on the D-line. Ricky Jackson's more versatile, I think, overall. Like could play inside, outside linebacker, rush, guard the tight end.
Yeah, but
He was a badass.
The thing with Cam is the durability, man, and the fact that it's really cool. Both those guys, obviously, all timers, NFL. They're both going to be in the NFL Hall of Fame.
I don't know if Cam's number 3, Mario.
I would make that
Willie
argument.
Rofe?
Still, all those guys are great, but Cam Jordan played 16 years. He played 16 plus games every season.
Yeah,
like
you.
it's all the he's 17th or 16th all time in the NFL in sacks. I hate disparaging these guys, and I hate comparing like from other eras, but I feel like Cam Jordan deserves it.
Like I don't think Drew Brees is top 5 NFL all-time quarterback.
Yeah,
I think he's top 10. I think he could be 6.
Yeah,
but I've got 5 that I would put ahead of him all the time, every day. Brees is probably 6th on my list,
for sure.
but which he isn't on most people's. It's New Orleans. He's number 1 or 2, but around the rest of the country, he's like 8, 9, 7.
Undoubtedly
like that.
top 10, but you could at least make the argument for top 5. I mean,
No,
the guy
no,
has multiple NFL
I
records.
agree with
like,
that. Just because I have him at 6, you could
Yeah.
make the argument that Drew Brees is top 5. There's
Exactly.
no doubt.
No, and I've been
But I think Cam Jordan, same thing. I wouldn't have him in my top 5. I mean, Wayne Martin might have been a better D lineman than
if
Cam
there's
Jordan.
a Saints Mount Rushmore, there's 4 presidents on Mount Rushmore, right? 4
Yep.
presidents. If there's a Saints Mount Rushmore, Cam Jordan has to be on it, in my opinion, bar none. You can't not have
If
him
I
on
had
it.
a Saints Rushmore, it'd be I would have. It would be Drew Brees. It would be Ricky Jackson. It would be Willie Rofe. I mean, people are like, he's a kicker. I mean, Morton Anderson won so many games, and the way Sam Mills,
Yes.
Wayne Martin, Vaughn Johnson,
And we're talking all-time Saints.
all-time great
But
Saints.
the thing that separates Cam from a lot of those guys you just named is he's finishing his career here. Like
no,
Willie,
Jari Evans,
Willie Rofe didn't finish here. Jackson didn't finish
Carl
here.
Nix.
Yeah, no, all those guys
I
are.
think they're all better than Cam Jordan
I
overall as a player.
I disagree. I mean, we could talk about what criteria you're using, but longevity and production.
No, that he's number 1.
Like the guy was 35 years old and had 10 plus sacks.
Yeah,
like that's
can't
unbelievably
can't
good.
deny any of that. Cam Jordan's a top 10, top dozen Saint all
No,
time.
it's a debate, but I would debate that he's the second best. That might be like a podcast topic or something.
That's a good podcast topic, especially for your generation, Mario.
Yes.
That didn't live in that Ricky Jackson Dome Patrol era.
I guess that's the thing. You're always gonna, favor the guys you watch play. I have a,
I watched the ones you played too. That's the difference.
if I debate with but if I debate with a 10-year-old right now and he's 30, it's probably gonna be a similar deal, right? Like I'm gonna
Yes.
say,
Yes.
I don't know.
But what the thing is I'm not saying like, no, these Lombardi teams could compete today. No, they couldn't. Jerry Kramer was 235-pound guard. He couldn't even play in the NFL today at any position. He's not skilled enough to play. Couldn't be a deep snapper today. Jerry Kramer, Hall of Famer. So the era is, even though it's different, it isn't like 60s or 70s where it was very different.
Yeah.
Speed, size, quickness. All these guys were animals. But no, I love Cam Jordan, but yeah, there's no way I'd put him ahead of Ricky Jackson or Willie Rofe.
Okay.
Or Wayne or D lineman. He wouldn't be number 1 for me. I mean, I would have like
He has more sacks than whoever you're gonna name.
Wayne Martin or that I think were just better linemen. I mean, I think Cam Jordan's longevity is the strength. Like I think Cam Jordan is like a Jim Wilkes, Frank Warren kind of guy. He's just a great
Saint player, but and he's a borderline. He might make it to the NFL Hall of Fame, Mario.
Yeah, he's top 20. He has more
He's
sacks
right
than
on
like
the fence.
Jared Allen and some of these guys that are in the Hall of Fame, so he should. You know.
Yeah, that's part of it. That's part of it for sure.
I mean, 16 seasons, man, at that position. It's not a quarterback or a kicker. Like that's
and started like probably 90% of that time.
Yeah, and
like started 90% of that time.
And in his prime, the Saints were a top 10 defense, and he was one of their best players. You know, they're not, and that's kind of the sad thing about the tail end of his career.
That's the thing. When were they a top 10 defense when Cam Jordan was there?
I mean, in 2018, the year they went to the championship.
Yeah. That would be about the only year.
The Dennis Allen years.
Most of the years, they weren't a good defense.
Nah, man, we could look it up. But the Dennis Allen years towards the end, when Cam was in his 30s, they were like top, or at least top half, if not top 10.
Now, what years would that be?
That was 2017 through 2021, something like that.
2017 to 2021.
Yeah. And before that, you had some bad defenses that he was
Horrible
also part of.
defenses.
Yeah.
Horrible.
But when they went from Rob Ryan to Dennis Allen, they had some really good groups, and he was a part of that.
Yeah, Rob Ryan year one wasn't bad.
Yeah. I mean, Breeze, late 2010s and early 2020s, was still really efficient, but he wasn't putting up 5,000-yard seasons. The Saints were winning games because of their defense and Drew's efficiency. I don't know, man. It sounds to me like you're selling him short a little bit, honestly.
No, I'm not. I love Cam Jordan. 766 9480. Just I would have him. I would never say he's the second time all-time greatest Saint. No way.
I mean, I'm making the
Not
argument.
even close.
I'm trying to give you criteria to make it.
I know. I'm bringing up guys that are NFL Hall of Famers. Like Willie Roaf was an all-decade player 2 times. Like there aren't many of those. I think Morton Anderson was too. Sam Mills is a Hall of Famer. And Ricky Jackson. I mean, I have Drew Brees number 1. I don't have Ricky Jackson number 2. I have Ricky Jackson 1A. Ricky Jackson played 13 years, was the all-time leading Saints sack leader until Cam Jordan.
Broke his
Ricky
record.
Jackson was just an animal.
Dude.
I mean, he could do everything. I mean, let me put you this way. There are games where Cam Jordan disappeared. And that's fine. I'm not dogging him. There was never a game where Ricky Jackson was insignificant ever in his career. Every game he played, he was like a mini Lawrence Taylor to opposing teams. You had to literally, teams were worried about the Saints defense, and they were worried about Ricky Jackson specifically. I don't know too many teams are like, we're crapping in our pants because of Cam Jordan and the Saints defense coming in.
In his prime, I think they were. They were definitely game planning for him. Like they were definitely like, I got to know where number 94. I get what you're saying. Also, Ricky Jackson's a legend, but I think Cam had a similar effect more than you want to admit, than to Ricky Jackson.
766 9480. That's Mario Brothers, aka Latinx. Knows a lot more about this sports thing in 2026 than I do. That's for damn sure. He's our in-house sports expert, which is great because I don't keep up on it like I used to, but I like it. And I can tap into Mario and get into, see what's going on. Wide Open Wednesday, tropical storm Arthur, major rain event. They're talking like 10 plus inches of rain in some parts of South Louisiana. Going north of New Orleans, maybe like a track, Lake Charles, Alexandria, towards Jackson, Mississippi. But that puts us sort of on the southeast side of the storm. And that's where a lot of the rain takes place. Like north of Alexandria, like Monroe and Shreveport, north of Jackson, Mississippi, like Memphis, they're going to get rain, but I don't think they're going to get that kind of rain. So where the storm is sort of heading south, the inches of rain diminish. So some places like, I don't know, maybe like Bogalusa could get, and I'm just making up the numbers, like 6 inches. And maybe like the North Shore gets 4. And maybe the South Shore gets 2 or 3. Like as you get closer to the coast, as you get farther away from the storm, which will be like up I-55 from us when it's north of us, near Jackson roughly. The farther south, the less inches of rain. The closer to Jackson, Mississippi, the more inches of rain. So, and I don't want, look, I think the Chafuncta right now in Slidell is like cresting, like flowing onto the roadway right now. Right now. So any little bit of rain hitting the North Shore, you've got a bunch of rivers on the North Shore. Some are fine, some are like near flood stage. So no, it's a precarious situation. Don't need a lot of rain on the North Shore, and of course, we don't need a lot of rain in New Orleans. Hey, on Magazine Street, between Napoleon and Louisiana, on the river side of Magazine, across the street and a block away from Lillette Restaurant, Art and Eyes. Eyewear that's as unique as you. About 4,000 different frames to choose from. 4,000. It's summertime. You need that eye protection. You're looking for a great pair of sunglasses? Don't order online. Don't go to the mall or some national chain store. You need prescription eyewear? Art and Eyes on Magazine. Google them before you go anywhere else. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Google them.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers, uses only the highest quality materials and products.
Cause I'm the fence man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the fence man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Terminix, the official pest control company of the New Orleans Saints. Locally owned for over 70 years with humble beginnings on Poydras Street, will fix your pest and termite problems. Terminix has effective solutions that will help eliminate pest problems throughout the year. Their custom treatments address seasonal pest activity to protect your home and business all year long. Terminix provides residential and commercial pest and termite control services for the South Shore, North Shore, and river parishes of Louisiana. Terminix protects that. Go Saints!
Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971 on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
CertaPro Painters, New Orleans local painters. From the first brush stroke to the finished job. Your home, beautifully painted and worry-free. CertaPro Painters, neworleans.certapro.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Swamp Room in Metairie, home of the Swamp Burger, one of the best hamburgers in Metro New Orleans. A full menu, including steak specials, over 100 beers by the bottle, over 25 beers on tap, lots of flat screens, pool tables, darts, and video poker, lunch, dinner, late night dining. Open past midnight 7 days a week. The Swamp Room in Metairie on Vets, between Transcontinental and I-10.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Artificial turf custom golf putting greens. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. The vibe of the Crescent City, Corey Johnson.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM. Also from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida on 600 AM and 1560.
Yeah, you're right. Corey Johnson back at you. Thanks for joining us, 766-9480. Mario Brothers thinks Coach O should be the head coach at LSU and Lane Kiffin should just be offensive coordinator.
He had a quote today. I don't know if you saw it, but
I did not see it, and it's meaningless.
He was like, at some point we will.
That's what he said?
No, Lane, not Coach O. Lane Kiffin had a
Thank
quote.
you. Okay, what did he say?
The current actual head coach of LSU.
He's confident about being national champ.
He said we at one point will win the national championship. That's essentially what he said. I'll pull up the direct quote right now. But
It seems like that's the clear expectation, and you know what more can you say than that?
remember when Brian Kelly said the same thing like less than a year ago? That's just
Yeah,
kind of
but
funny.
you were like hoping. You're like, oh, it can happen. This guy brought Notre Dame close. LSU could put it over the top. But with Lane Kiffin, it's different. It's like this is. I was thinking about the other day. I mean, not the other day. Today, when I saw the quote, I was like, Lane Kiffin is a mercenary coach, and LSU is a mercenary program.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
I mean, it's a cutthroat world. It's NIL. It's buy the best, and LSU athletics strive to be the best. And they went out and got this mercenary coach who in 3 or 4 years will be coaching the Tennessee Titans or something in the NFL. And he'll leave LSU probably with a national championship doing it. I mean, the recruiting's off the chart right now.
Yes, it would be worth it if you get the championship. I mean,
you're kidding me?
Yeah.
Coach Ogeron, the only reason, I know you love him, the only reason he's worth it because 2019.
Worth it every time.
You know,
Yes.
come on, the greatest team ever. You're like, Coach O.
Yeah.
But you don't want Coach O as head coach. Lane Kiffin, you'd like him to stay a long, long time. I don't see that happening. Lane Kiffin's just next opportunity. Like, I did it at college. Now let me go see if I can win a Super Bowl. I just think that's inevitable. He's 51, 52, and he has no love for LSU. He doesn't bleed purple and gold. He could give a crap about LSU. But Mario, here's the fun part. LSU could give a crap about Lane Kiffin ultimately.
Exactly. Yes.
They just want to win. Everybody's on the same page. The goals are the same. I'm not dogging Kiffin or LSU.
LSU, the difference between LSU and Ole Miss is LSU was successful long before Lane Kiffin. And now it's been a while since they have been successful. But yeah, to your point, if he does well and leaves them for an NFL job, you would think they'd be in place to keep competing.
And the thing is, like Ole Miss, I mean, best case scenario, I mean, it's a possibility you could win a national title there. It isn't you can.
Yes.
And LSU, it's not you can. It's like LSU, you're expected to. So Ole Miss is a maybe you can. There's no, you can win a national title at Ole Miss, and Indiana just won. That you can't just throw that out there. Signetti, big difference, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
boosters.
And those guys like built a team. It's more than just like getting the best players. You know, you have to like manage your roster.
It's
like,
everything. It's all of it.
Yeah.
And can Ole Miss ultimately get the best players like that, as good as the competition playing for the national championship?
Yes.
You know, so Ole Miss, it's not anywhere. Hey, you can do it at Ole Miss. It's maybe you can. At LSU, it's not you can do it at LSU. It's like, of course you can. They've done it 3 times this century. You better do it at LSU.
Yeah. I mean, 3 out of the last 4 coaches have done it, so that's the expectation. But the quote was, I don't know how fast it's going to happen, but we're going to win a national championship. That's what he said.
I'm not shooting for this year. You know, I'm my expectation isn't even a playoff this year. But they could.
Yep.
There's a ridiculous amount of talent, Mario. There's a ridiculous amount of talent on that team.
You never know. Look what Brian Kelly did his first year. But yeah, I agree. I just want to see improvement. Like 8-4, 9-3 to me would be a good season. And then the next year you're set up to go like 11-1 and really like compete.
I mean, you got about 50 something new players on this roster, and like 35 or 40 of them are like coveted. Like 35 or 40 could, hey, I want to go to Alabama. Here's a scholarship. I want to go to Notre Dame. Here's a scholarship. It's like 35 or 40 of the 50 they just signed up via transfer portal and recruiting class. So with that much talent it coming in at one time, it's just, can you get them to play as a team?
That's the main
thing.
thing.
I don't know. Depth, they're going to be weak maybe in a few spots. But starters, it looks like they're pretty damn good on offense and defense.
They just have to be somewhat balanced. Like Lane Kiffin's an offensive guy, just like Brian Kelly was. But one year they had a great defense. Their offense was terrible. One year they had Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors and broke all kinds of records. Their defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. Like the special teams was bad one year.
Well, think if the Saints had defense during the Breeze Payton era, like consistently good defense for, I'm not saying equal to the offense.
Yes.
Half as good as the offense year in year. That's New England's secret. New England had an offense like the Saints with Belichick and Brady. But if you look at New England, Mario, they had a top 15 defense every year Brady was there, basically. Their defense was never 23rd or 22nd. Sometimes it was like 5th or 7th.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was always like 8th, 12th, 15th at the worst. I mean, the Saints were like 30th, 31st, 29th. They were awful sometimes.
Exactly. And as great a duo as Peyton and Breeze were, they were both offensive guys. The reason why Brady and Belichick were so good is because Belichick held the defense down, and some years they were better. But Brady held the offense down, and some years they were better. But they were always complementary to each other. That's why they always won so many games.
And Peyton's fortunate he goes to Denver, and one thing Denver had the day he walked in the door was defense.
Oh, yeah.
And now the defense is even better. And now he's implementing his offense, and you get a team that goes 13-3 or whatever, 13-4.
And I'll give him credit. You know, he's not here anymore, but he's gotten a lot better at exactly that, like balancing his team. Like
he learned a lot of lessons in New Orleans.
Exactly. He doesn't try to feel like coach the defense as much as he did in the past. He gives like guys like Dennis Allen and now Vance Joseph a lot more dominion, and it results in a much more balanced team.
I mean, I think if you're like an NFL person, like nationwide, not a local fan, you're looking at it fairly and objectively, the year in, year out roster. Sean Payton and the Saints probably should have played in, you could argue, 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
But definitely should have been to like a couple of more NFC title games.
Yeah. And the NFC title games they lost were both pretty tragic. I mean,
they're tragic.
I'm doing a podcast with the Bears.
They're tragic.
I'm doing a podcast with the Bears guy this Friday. I'm going to talk about this.
Well, it's no call in Minnesota, right?
Yeah. Well, Breeze is 1-2 in NFC championship games. He beat Brett Favre. Who are the quarterbacks he lost to? He lost to Jared Goff, who's okay, but come on, he's not at the level of Brett Favre. And then to Rex Grossman, who is not very good.
It's sickening.
So, yeah.
Those are just missed opportunities.
So he definitely could have been to at least 3 Super Bowls.
When you talk about Breeze and Peyton, you talk about 15 years, and you can only say one time they were the best team in the NFC. Forget about the league. That applies to the league, too. They won the Super Bowl. But only one time NFC's best. You think they would have been NFC's best like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. I mean, football's a cruel sport, man. Like you can have the best coach, like Aaron Rodgers too, like had a lot of like tragic playoff losses, but you know, there's 11 guys on the field.
I think there's a little underachieving going on with not like Breeze didn't underachieve as a player. I'm just saying the Breeze Peyton era, they underachieved. You could argue.
You could argue that for sure.
1 Super Bowl and, one what is it, George Halas trophy?
Yes.
There should be like 2 or 3 George Halas trophies.
Your guy Chef Scotty's probably like waving his fist in improvement right now somewhere. He would definitely agree with you.
No, but we're in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So like, Saturday night at Tiger Stadium, 3 for 1 at the bar, Mardi Gras, hunting and fishing season. That's all great. That's important. Education, infrastructure, economy, crime, not such a big concern. That's sort of the mentality. So, hey, we got a Super Bowl. We're living off the Super Bowl, Mario, that you were like 14 years old when the damn game was won.
Yeah, 15, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't even have a driver's license. You're an adult. You're 31.
Yeah.
We're living off that Super Bowl.
That's true.
It's insane.
Yep.
It's insane.
At least we're not the Falcons, though.
No, you can always, that's the thing.
That's
the
the one
teams that have never been to Super Bowls and never won one. It's like, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about New Orleans. And it's not like we should have more Super Bowl wins right now. I'm just saying the expectation of, hey, I'll live off Super Bowl 44 forever. It's like, we're like in the Super Bowl in the 60s now. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, we need another one, man.
No, at least, competing. So at least it looks like they're going to be heading in that direction.
Hopefully so. Like new coach, new quarterback. Like you've been saying, like the last couple of days, the Sean Payton, Drew Brees era is completely over, but that's not a bad thing,
No, it's a good thing. And you got a new coach who looks like he's a winner. You got a quarterback that looks like he can play. They're building with a lot of young players, both on offense and defense. They went crazy in free agency like I've never seen in a good way and signed like 3 or 4 starters at key positions they needed help at. The NFC South sucks. There's no like powerhouse team there.
Yeah.
The Saints could go 6 wins, and the Saints could easily go like 9 or 10 wins.
Yeah, and it's good that Jordan and Kamara are back because they're in reduced roles. They're not going to be asked to do as much as they were before. I think just their presence combined with their production, because I still think they have good football left to give.
Yes.
That combined with the young team will be a good thing. You know.
Corey Johnson with you, Wide Open Wednesday. That's Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. When you're going into Rouse's, especially when you're going in there and you're not just grabbing a few items. It's not one of those in and out type of things. But even then, I recommend doing this. But especially when you're going to have a basket full of goodies from Rouse's, you're buying a week's worth of groceries, setting up the family. You got to go to rouses.com on the website. Upper right-hand corner, daily specials, weekly specials, newspaper ads. It's a red little bar, upper right-hand corner, daily specials. Click on that. Literally hundreds and hundreds of items on sale at Rouse's. There are over 75 Rouse's. They're already buying in bulk. They've already got the best prices in Metro New Orleans. Dare to compare. Pick out something you buy all the time and look how much it cost at Rouse's. And if you can keep track of 2 or 3 things you buy all the time and what they cost, you snap a photo with your smartphone. Then go the next time you're at another grocery store in New Orleans, compare the price. Rouse's is going to be less expensive, sometimes a lot less expensive. Like I used to get these Kind breakfast protein bars until Bradley Schneller at Stacked Coaching told me they're not any good. They're about $6.29 at Rouse's. Another local grocery store, $9.99. So they're $6.29 at Rouse's. They're $10 at the other grocery store. Sometimes Rouse's has them on sale 2 for $10. Rouse's.com.
Or automatic gate at your property or place of business anywhere in Metro New Orleans. You got to see the fence man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers. Uses only the highest quality materials and products.
'Cause I'm the Fence Man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971 on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
CertaPro Painters, New Orleans local painters. From the first brush stroke to the finished job. Your home, beautifully painted and worry-free. CertaPro Painters, neworleans.certapro.com.
49 years in a row. Ford F-150, #1 truck in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
The Swamp Room in Metairie, home of the legendary Swamp Burger, one of the best hamburgers in Metro New Orleans. Open after midnight, 7 days a week. A full menu, including steak specials. The Swamp Room in Metairie.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation, Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
The Steak Knife restaurant in Lakeview has been at it for over 50 years. The reason? Because the Roth family does it right, serving only USDA prime beef, a neighborhood restaurant. But you don't have to live in the Lakeview neighborhood to enjoy the Steak Knife. Open Tuesday through Saturday night, the Steak Knife on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park. For a reservation, call 488-8981 or online, steakkniferestaurant.com. The Swamp Room in Metairie, home of the Swamp Burger, one of the best hamburgers in Metro New Orleans. A full menu, including steak specials, over 100 beers by the bottle, over 25 beers on tap, lots of flat screens, pool tables, darts, and video poker, lunch, dinner, late night dining. Open past midnight 7 days a week. The Swamp Room in Metairie on Vets between Transcontinental and I-10.
Not an FM disc jockey, not a former politician, Corey Johnson.
You're not the DJ. You're a raconteur. You're a storyteller. You're a griot.
It's true. Yeah, you right. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Phone lines are open at 766-9480. You checking us out on radio? 4 different radio stations. Checking us out on TV? 2 different television channels all over South Louisiana, Metro New Orleans, Metro Baton Rouge, Metro Lafayette, and beyond. We're on 5 different streaming platforms, social media, live, 4 to 6 weekdays, radio, television, and yeah, X, aka Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all on there, all live streaming 4 to 6 weekdays. Check out the program so many ways. Spotify, the 12th and final way, our podcast every weekday at 6. Check it out. A dozen different ways to check out the Neutral Ground with me, Corey Johnson. Radio, television, social media, podcast. Yesterday, we talked about Dixie cups with a string, a megaphone. Mario nixed both ideas. Have you ever done the Dixie cup with the string thing, Mario, or that's just not your age group?
No, I remember doing that, like Boy Scouts and stuff.
Yeah, wow, Boy Scouts. There you go.
They taught us that game.
It worked. Your voice travels down the string. It's pretty amazing, I thought.
I think it's a cool phenomenon, man.
I think it's a crazy phenomenon.
Anybody.
How does a cotton piece of string carry your voice down?
Yeah, no, that's cool.
But it's got to be tight.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's loose, it's not going down the line.
No, you have to tie tight.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I would teach my kids that.
Yep,
That's
the
awesome.
old Dixie cup telephone.
Good times.
Yep, pretty cool times. Did you have walkie-talkies as a kid?
Yeah, also.
You had a friend who lived like down the block, and you're like 8 o'clock, turn them on.
Yes.
And then y'all would talk on the walkie-talkie.
Something like that. Yeah.
We had that. We had CB radios, Mario. Those were big, like in the 70s. Like 18-wheelers still have Citizens Band radio. Like 18-wheelers, I think, still do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. People in cars started getting the CB radios in the 70s. And then they could be like, Breaker 19, this is, Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx. Well, you'd have a handle. Be like Latinx, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just wondering where the Bears might be. That'd be like all these like slang and terms.
Mm-hmm.
And that you're looking for police radaring.
Yeah.
Like mile marker 14, good buddy. You better slow it down. And literally cars had CB radios. So CB radios were pretty hot. And we actually had an antenna at the house. like a bigger antenna that was for CB radio, and my friend down the street did. And we went to the FCC and got the official license. You can register for a license.
Mhm.
I was KAYNO 118.
Oh, wow.
That was my Citizens Band. Let's Google that, Mario. See if that would you freak out if that still came up for me from the 70s as a
Kind of.
child?
What's it? What's the tag?
We're gonna tag it FCC CB radio license KAYN 0118.
All right, let's see. No, it's just says it's highly unlikely to have a record matching KAYN 0118.
How about let's go with KAEB
KAEB
4506.
No.
That was my buddy Hamilton. We were kids, and that was his handle. We'd always be repeating that, like trying to be official. I'm going to send him a text.
Being a trucker is one of those
KAEB.
One of those things that looks like it's a lot more fun
4506
than it is.
He's going to freak out because that was his license.
Yeah.
You know, we at the end of the night, I was the road runner and he was something else. And I didn't run on the road. You know, it was a base station.
Yeah. Road runner. Meep.
Yep. Anyway. 766-9480. It's Citizens Band Radio Talk. We've changed the format. Mario, Google, do 18-wheelers still use CB radios?
I don't know if they do. Still use CB.
Oh, he's close. KYY. He was close. I'll say KAYN 0118, I think.
Yes, semi-truck drivers still use CB radios. While smartphones and GPS systems have become primary tools, CBs remain valuable for short-range, instantaneous communication.
He almost knew my handle, my buddy Hamilton. He was close.
I love how he texted you back so quick.
He texted me back right away. He was blown away that I remembered his. Yeah,
man.
That's silly stuff.
Good times with your friends.
Yep, good times. That's only 50 years ago, Mario, and the memory still works. But then I had problems with what's your name, man? You with the show? Oh, Mario. Sorry, dude.
AKA Latinx.
I have trouble with that. You remember my Doug Thornton brain freeze a few weeks ago? The guy runs it down in the arena. It's like Doug Thornton. But yeah, thanks, Mario. And then what was the other one I had like about 2 months ago?
You called Jeff Dorson Jeff Landry.
Well, Jeff Dorson, Jeff Landry was just
Jeff
a little
Landry.
slip up. Yeah,
that was funny though.
Yeah, Jeff Dorson liked that. I could be governor. I'll save all the animals.
Yes.
The state will be #1 with animals. Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
766-9480 is how you dial us up on this wide open Wednesday. Tropical storm Arthur is a coming. Hopefully it just goes north. It's, it's supposed to kind of track like Lake Charles, Alexandria, Jackson, Mississippi, kind of in that direction towards Atlanta eventually. No, hopefully that bad boy just goes like due north. So we totally, avoid any kind of rain, any kind of significant rain. We don't need 10 plus inches anywhere near Metro New Orleans. Not the North Shore. I mean, Chafuncta's cresting. There's a few other rivers that are cresting. Some are fine. Some are right at flood level. Some are already overflowing onto the road right now on the North Shore. So no, the last thing we need is a lot of rain in Metro New Orleans. Hey, in the 4 o'clock hour, Joe Responti joined us, local attorney. Assistant U.S. Attorney Jordan Ginsburg removed from the Junket Cantrell case, placed on administrative leave, some kind of misconduct. Don't know if it has anything to do with the case or not. All I can do is assume. And I'm assuming it doesn't have to do with the case, and the case will move on, and that's that. But maybe it does. Maybe it's like the Fred Hebe gimmick, where Jim Letton and not Letton so much, but Jan Mann and Sal Perricone, some underlings to Jim Letton in that old Eastern District of Louisiana office, they were posting on NOLA.com, the comments sections, about Fred Hebe and the case that they were prosecuting. And then Hebe's just, in my opinion, just so full of crap. He hires a really good attorney who used to work for Jim Letton. So Hebe's philosophy was like the OJ, Robert Blake, anyone who's guilty of a crime, and Hebe didn't murder anyone. But it's hire the best attorney to beat the feds. Hire the best attorneys. You're wealthy, you're rich, spend the money, hire the best. And then he added something to it. Hire someone from the office that's suing you. And Billy Gibbons worked for Jim Letton in that office. And Fred Hebe hired him, in my opinion, as a consultant. Like, how with Jim Letton, how's Jan Mann, how Perricone going to come after me? And then I think Gibbons told Fred Hebe, Jan Mann and Sal Perricone, use pseudonyms and go online and post crap about this case. How do we prove that? How do we, put that out there? And I think, that attorney that worked for Letton, Billy Gibbons, like, I don't want to just tell you that. So they come up with, I think, just all BS, in my opinion. We hired a forensic expert. They're looking at the comments on NOLA.com. I mean, who would be looking at the comments on NOLA.com? And the style of the writing of Sal Perricone ousted him. And I think that's total BS. I think Billy Gibbons told, Hebe, Sal Perricone and Jan Mann, comment. And I think Hebe paid Billy Gibbons a lot of money to bail him out of this. So Hebe's thing was hire the best attorneys and hire someone that used to work in the office that's prosecuting you. And he won. And in my opinion, Fred Hebe got away with a crime and crippled a very effective Eastern District of Louisiana Attorney General office, Jim Letton, Jan Mann, Sal Perricone. I mean, like every quarter, there was an announcement from those guys about an indictment on a politician or some contractor. And Jim Bernazani running the FBI was relentless. And Bob Sarasoli running the Office of Inspector General was relentless. No, those were heady times. It sent out a message to jokers in New Orleans and Louisiana: don't run for office. If you're like a John Ilario thinker and you're thinking about running for office to set up friends and family, don't do it. And I love the new Inspector General. He's been there a while. I say new compared to Bob Sarasoli. Ed Michelle's a pit bull. He's great. I think the FBI has a good leader there now. The Eastern District of Louisiana seems to have, the U.S. Attorney's Office seems to be well run. But yeah, this Jordan Ginsburg thing, let's hope the misconduct has nothing to do with the Cantrell case. We don't need another Fred Hebe type situation. We need justice. Coming right back.
Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971 on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The Fence Man, a locally owned fencing company serving the Metro New Orleans area for over 20 years.
I'm the Fence Man.
The Fence Man-NewOrleans.com.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. For over 30 years, CertaPro painters have been part of countless memories. Freshly painted nurseries, bright, welcoming kitchens, families enjoying the important things in life. Every wall tells a story, and CertaPro is happy to be a part of it. New Orleans' local professional painters, doing the job right. From the first brushstroke to the finished job. CertaPro Painters. NewOrleans.CertaPro.com.
The Swamp Room in Metairie, home of the Swamp Burger, one of the best hamburgers in Metro New Orleans. A full menu, including steak specials, over 100 beers by the bottle, over 25 beers on tap, lots of flat screens, pool tables, darts, and video poker, lunch, dinner, late night dining. Open past midnight 7 days a week. The Swamp Room in Metairie on Vets between Transcontinental and I-10.
Terminix, the official pest control company of the New Orleans Saints, locally owned for over 70 years with humble beginnings on Poydras Street, will fix your pest and termite problems. Terminix has effective solutions that will help eliminate pest problems throughout the year. Their custom treatments address seasonal pest activity to protect your home and business all year long. Terminix provides residential and commercial pest and termite control services for the South Shore, North Shore, and River parishes of Louisiana. Terminix protects that. Go Saints!
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
For over 30 years, CertaPro painters have been part of countless memories. Freshly painted nurseries, bright, welcoming kitchens, family rooms filled with laughter. Every wall tells a story, and we've been proud to help write them. We are more than just your local painters, with care, craftsmanship, and certainty. From the first brushstroke to the final smile, our promise is simple. Your home beautifully painted and worry-free. CertaPro painters. That's painting happy.
NewOrleans.CertaPro.com.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the Neutral Ground.
You can say anything you please about me, but don't say anything bad about Blue Boy.
Down, Blue Boy. Good buddy. Yeah, you right. Wide Open Wednesday. Corey Johnson with you. Tropical storm Arthur on its way. It's going to go north of us, hopefully a lot north of us. The farther north it goes, the less inches of rain for Metro New Orleans. Now, these are just total guesstimations. I'm not a meteorologist. I'm just giving you a general idea. The storm's supposed to be like, go through like Lake Charles, Alexandria, head towards Jackson, Mississippi, towards Georgia, like that angle. Ideally, it goes farther north, but hypothetically, when it's over Jackson, like due north of New Orleans, Jackson might get 6 inches of rain. The North Shore might get like 3 or 4. New Orleans might get 2 or 3. I mean, as you get farther south from that storm, less inches of rain. But we're on the eastern side, the counterclockwise, it's all counterclockwise, the eastern side, the southeastern side, whatever. We're on the right side of the storm. That's most of the rain. Like north of the storm will be less rain compared to south of the storm. So let's just hope for the best, because the North Shore already has some of their rivers cresting as we speak. They don't need a lot of rain. That could be torrential flooding. And New Orleans doesn't need a lot of rain. Neither does Metairie. We don't need inches of rain coming down quickly. Hopefully this thing, for us at least, is like a shoo-shoo, just nothing. Keep your fingers crossed.
Hey, Terminix New Orleans, they installed the Centricon baiting system at my house. I don't worry about termites. They're about to start coming on a regular basis, taking care of the outside of my house, protecting the inside from like ants, roaches, spiders, fleas, and ticks. I got outdoor cats. I got right now at my house, Bree, a terrier inside my house, little 40-pound female. So no, I need Terminix. I don't want fleas and ticks. I don't want rats and mice. I don't want roaches, ants, spiders. I don't want mosquitoes. Terminix is about to start mosquito-proofing my yard. TerminixNOLA.com. TerminixNOLA.com. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. Joe Responti joined us last hour around 4:20 to discuss Assistant U.S. Attorney Jordan Ginsburg, removed from office, placed on administrative leave, misconduct, according to his boss. Jordan Ginsburg basically put together the Junket Cantrell Vappy case. It's Jordan Ginsburg's case. He's the big boy. He's the main player. He's no longer involved in that case. I don't wish any ill will on Ginsburg. Supposedly a great attorney, great prosecutor. So I hope the misconduct is something he can handle and it's not a big deal. And I also hope it has nothing to do with the Cantrell case. The last thing we need is like a Fred Hebe thing, getting away with it. Hey, tomorrow, the U.S. Open from Shinnecock National. Doesn't get any better than this, even if you don't like golf. Mario Brothers doesn't give a crap about golf, but he's going to watch highlights because I'm telling him, check out a few minutes of highlights, Mario. Watch these pros. Did you see what I posted on Twitter today, Mario?
No, what'd you post?
There's just a practice round. This guy chips up. The ball's rolling really slow by the hole. And then just watch. Just rolls by the hole. Just starts picking up speed. Just rolling across the green. You're like, how could something... He touches the putt, Mario. Pull up my Twitter.
Okay.
And check it out. I just want your reaction to this.
I will.
I want your reaction on the air to this. Okay. Pull up my Twitter and scroll down and just watch this guy and just watch how slow the ball rolls by the hole. First off, watch how he just taps the putt.
Yeah, Shinnecock Hills.
Yep. Watch how he just taps the putt. You see he's on the green. You see him?
Yeah.
Watch. Do you see the putter?
Yeah.
Does he just touch the ball to start it?
Mm-hmm.
Like just starts it moving, right? Watch the damn ball. Just blows by the hole.
Yeah, jeez.
And look at it.
Yeah, how'd that happen, man?
It's because it's like putting on, concrete almost.
Just see that, jeez.
So like a downhill putt like that, I don't know how you would start that and stop it anywhere near the hole.
Yeah.
It's like make it in or you're going 20 feet past.
Yeah, it's almost like a check swing and he still
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
The greens are so fast. The rough is so high. The fairways are tight enough. Now, I got 3 major predictions. I think they're kind of, gutsy, whatever. It's if you're in sports talk. Reps on the line. I think come Sunday, the winner will be like 2 or 3 over par. Over par. Like they won't get under par. Won't be red numbers. I think they're going to be more double bogeys than birdies. More double bogeys than birdies, which never happens in pro golf. And I think every single pro that plays, including the ones, obviously, that get cut, that only play Tuesday, that play Thursday and Friday. And, of course, the ones that play through the weekend. Every single pro will have at least 1 3-putt. Will at least 1 3-putt. I think every pro, honestly, is going to have multiple 3-putts. Every single pro out there might have multiple 3-putts. No, it's diabolical. Totally fair, but right up against the wall of unfair, right up against the wall. Like they water the greens at like 2:00 in the middle of the tournament. Otherwise, the greens will get too fast and too slick for the late afternoon players. They're trying to make the greens like same speed as morning and midday. At 2:00, we're bringing out the big fire hose and we're going to water them down real quick. Yeah, even if you don't watch golf, watch the highlights. Incredible. Hey, the 5:00 powwow this afternoon brought to you by Kiefer and Kiefer. a law firm for decades, committed to their clients, helping people that are in need. If you have a real legal issue, you have a real legal need, you need a real attorney. KieferandKiefer.com. It's that simple. No time for jokers. You need a real attorney. KieferandKiefer.com. That's Blue Boy saying have a great Wednesday. See you tomorrow. Already Thursday, heading towards the weekend. See you right here, 4 o'clock.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.